Grab your big book, your pen, your highlighter, and notepad and get ready to hear and apply some of the solution from the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous through the experience, strength, and hope of Nikki M. To have a question addressed in a future episode of Noodle It Out with Nikki, please send an email to noodlewithnikki@gmail.com, and Nikki is spelled with 2 Ks. To get a more interactive experience with Nikki as she noodles out life and recovery questions using the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous, you can get a link to her weekly Noodle It Out with Nikki meeting held live on Zoom every Monday morning at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. The information to that meeting is in the show notes of this podcast. God morning, God afternoon, and God evening to all. My name is Justin B. I am a son of an all-powerful and all-loving God and a qualifying addict of multiple fellowships, living one day at a time in the miracle of recovery. And I'm here with the intelligent agent, spearhead of God's ever-advancing creation, and my co-host, Nikki M. Nikki, take a minute and say hi.
Oh, hi, everybody. It's so wonderful to be here with Justin in the Noodle studio, a.k.a. my bedroom, in my noodle robe, just having a noodle time. We just got off our Monday morning noodle meeting where we at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we get together around the world and we just talk about the instructions out of this big book and the power that we tap. So I'm feeling pretty awesome, I guess is the key word. I was like, what word is it? No, it's just awesome. Thank you, Justin.
You're feeling noodly awesome. Love it. And everybody go check out that meeting. If the link to that live meeting will be in the show notes of this podcast and is in all of the episodes. Go check it out if you want to get some live interaction with this. And Nikki and I continue that with just a one-on-one thing that's recorded. That other meeting is not recorded. It is a meeting that is held that can just be, it's anonymous, yes, but it's one that is not put out there like this one. All right. So if you've listened to this, you know all about Rico 12, what we do, all of the different resources we have. Go check them out in the show notes. Check them out at rico12.com. And if you feel so guided, we're grateful for any donations, any support that we can get. And you can find that at rico12.com/support. Also, the links are in the show notes. We're grateful for that. As we get into the big book here, Nikki and I bring a question, whether it's from the meetings that she has, whether it's from my own experience, whether it's from experiences I have with sponsees who ask me questions, or just in the world around. We bring questions, and Nikki dives deep into the big book with us to find solutions to those questions and the actions that can be taken in order to, apply these principles in all our affairs and practice them in all our affairs. So let's jump into this, Nikki. I've got a question for you today that honestly, as I was pondering on things this morning, this is just what came to my mind. And so I'm going to ask you this and we'll jump into it and see what your thoughts are. And here's what I wrote. I am disturbed by everything wrong in the world. I've lost my serenity. I can't see good or God anywhere. What's even the point if I'm trying to do everything right in recovery, but it makes no difference in the end? So, Nikki, talk to us a little bit about that and what the book says about how I can deal with these feelings of hopelessness and what's the point?
Wow, someone's in my head some days because that's how I feel some days. It's like I just wrote here because I take notes when Justin is giving the question and speaking. It's like disturbed by everything. Well, it's 2024, my friends out there in the cyber world and wherever you are on the planet. We've just survived COVID. We've survived, just so many things these last few years. And there's more to come. Let's just go there because page 15 of our big book, we use the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous, 4th edition, for all addictions and afflictions. We suffer the disease of alcoholism. What does that look like? Well, that looks like even you don't have to pick up a drink. Our friend Justin B's never had a drink, and he suffers the disease of this mind, of this disease that centers in our mind. So we get disturbed by everything. And I know that feeling because I have lived there, and some moments I slip back into that. So this is all about our thought life. Let's go to page 23 in our big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. This disease centers in our mind. So I'd like to ask myself, Justin, and whoever put this question on our hearts, and I'm sure it's everybody out there. I mean, we're all one, right? And so it's like disturbed by everything. This is about our thought life. And it doesn't matter, it sounds like, if we're drunk, high, intoxicated on him, her, the food. This is, what are you thinking about? Because it centers in your mind. Page 24. Okay, let's look there. Page 24. It's crazy that you started the question with this, Justin, about our thought life, because as I've been here 12 years, and Justin, you've been here almost the same length of time, and you're realizing this is just, we've been in spiritual kindergarten. This is so deep. Like, we're just getting started on what this means to be living a thought life. Oh no, I'm sorry. Where was it? Was it page 24? No, it was page 20. I want to go to page 20. Roll back a few pages, friends. So we looked at page 23, where it says this disease centers in our mind. If you're in Al-Anon, you're like, but if my husband just stops drinking, it's not in the bottle. It's in your mind. It's in his mind. So this is real radical. And page 20 says, our very lives. And I don't care if you're an ex-problem drinker, if you're an ex-problem food addict, if you're a problem, current problem, Al-Anon, current problem is your drug dependency. It doesn't matter. Your very life depends upon constant thought of others and how you, Nikki, put your name there, everybody, how we, Justin, may help meet their needs. Whose needs? Others. And that I'm included in others. So it's not helpful for me to, avoid helping myself, because then I won't be able to help anybody. So this is real radical. Our very life depends upon constant. Constant is all the time. That means you have to have your thought life constantly thinking of how we may help others. I just asked Justin how he's doing, and he just had a new grandbaby, and his wife has been away helping for 1 month, constantly thinking of this new baby. She didn't, I'm sure, and I looked at Justin, because Justin himself looks like a baby. It's like, how'd you survive, little guy, without your wife? And, he's a man, he can survive. But it was like, she went there constantly thinking, not of her husband, probably not of herself, of this baby and how she can serve for a month this person. I mean, and then now she comes home. And so she needs to constantly think of how she can serve her husband and her community, all the while thinking how she's constantly going to make sure she serves herself so she can be of usefulness to other people. I mean, this is really radical stuff. And we don't do this perfect. We just grow. And then it says here, constant thought of others and how we may meet their needs. And so how do you do that? How do you do that? I mean, this is a 12-step program. So your mind must constantly be thinking of others. So you have to wake up every day, and we talk about it a lot. You have to work all 12 steps. You have to wake up every day, and number one, and because you're disturbed by everything. And our book says you only get a daily reprieve. I think that's on page 85. Let's look. So if the world's disturbing you, because that's what disturbed by everything. I mean, you asked me how I was, Justin, before we got on here. Well, my boyfriend in Luxembourg, who I'm going to go next week and see, he said something, taking my inventory. He's not in program. So he's free to say, you are. Right? I'm sorry. I'm not allowed to say that. Right, Justin? Like you and I, what's the instruction? It's on page 67 before we go to page 85. It says, the inventory's mine, not the other person's, places, or things, or worlds. Where am I at fault? Where am I to blame? The inventory's mine. But yet my boyfriend, before the Noodle meeting, I'm always like, don't call me on a Monday morning, because you'll knock me off my spiritual beam by taking my inventory. You are, Nikki, he says. So anyway, we're not allowed to take other people's inventory. But back to page 85, where it says, what we really have is a daily reprieve. A daily reprieve from what, Justin? You're drinking, you're eating, your pornography, your hoarding, your gambling. No, you have a daily reprieve from everything that disturbs you. You see, like everything, go like put that line out. What Justin and I have is a daily reprieve from everything that disturbs us, contingent, based on the maintenance we have to maintain. How do we maintain? By improving. We have to improve our conscious contact. We have to maintain this spiritual condition. Every day is a day we must carry the vision of God's will. So if you're disturbed by everything, you have to smash the idea that you're like other people. Friends, I am very sick in my scrolling addiction. Like Justin, and here it is too. I'm like, someone shared on Noodle today, she's going to start the steps and she's like, I just want to go and do one last hurrah, meaning she wants to go out and use. So like I think, I don't even know what her addiction was. Who knows what it was, whether it was to the all you can eat Chinese buffet. Was it, I want to go and, see my lover one more time? Was it, I'm going to go to the casino and blow the life savings one more? Was it, I'm going to go and hopefully just do one more bag of cocaine and hopefully it won't have fentanyl in it? Or like last week on Noodle, one woman said as she went out and she was going out for one last time, but didn't make it back in for 11 years. Okay. So like, this is serious stuff. So we have to every day smash the idea that like, we're like other people. Every day we have to do this work. And my scrolling addiction. So I'm getting ready to go to Luxembourg where I don't get my phone. I don't get the luxury of being king of the castle. I have to toe the line. At my, when I'm going to be a wife. So I have to, my common sense, you can't tell me what to do. Page 13, thus becomes uncommon sense. Yes, I'm a woman of God. I'm going to follow what my husband suggests. You understand? This is radical. I'm not like that, Justin. So I'm going to put my phone away. And here it is. Page 132, we do not indulge in cynicism over the state of the nations, nor do we carry the world's troubles on our shoulders. Justin, I spent a lot of time here. And why, my friends out there may ask, well, Nikki didn't follow the mandates of COVID, of the vaccine mandates, of the government suggestions. And so it was a very dark time for me when I lost my job. I couldn't travel. I'm in a global world where I'm in Toronto, Canada. My boyfriend lives in Luxembourg. That's a country in Europe. My daughter lives in Napa Valley, California. And Justin, it's only been 11 months that I've even been able to get into your beautiful America because of these mandates. So I cannot indulge in the cynicism of the state of the nation. So what does it look like for me when I'm disturbed by everything? I don't, number one, get to do these things. I have to smash the idea that I'm like other people. I have to remember what, what my purpose is. It's not to be disturbed by everyone and everything. It's on page 77. Why don't you go there and talk to me some thoughts about this? Read page 77, Justin, what our real purpose is. And then, some thoughts about what I've just told you on these just few pages about our thinking, about this thought life.
Yeah, so I'll jump over to 77 with our real purpose. Before I do that, I want to read the next phrase of that on page 132, where you said, we don't indulge in the cynicism over the state of the nations, nor do we carry the world's troubles on our shoulders. The things that are going on in the world, they're not mine to carry. They're not mine to carry. Why am I losing my peace and losing my mind over them? Now, it's real that it happens and those things can affect me, but it's not my responsibility to fix them. I love, Nikki, one of the things that I love that you share from time to time is a talk by an admiral at a college graduation that says, make your bed. Make your bed. What can I do? Well, I can wake up in the morning and I can make my bed. And that's how I can affect my world, by getting out on the right foot. Make my bed. And then I can do things that strengthen and improve my own little world. And eventually that resonates and goes outward and maybe helps my wife, helps my kids, helps my yard, helps my neighbors eventually. And that can change the world, but it's not going to happen today. So I can't worry about everything that's going on today. All right. Any other thoughts on that before I go to 77?
Yeah, no, really, you just said it. It's like it starts because we're included in others. So I love what you just used the example, and we'll go back to your wife, as we just dubbed her Grambo, which is grandma on Rambo steroids, where she's like that perfect grandma that comes and stays at your house for a month. She had to probably get up every morning, Justin, say her prayers, because I know she works the 12-step program. I know she has a life that is not run on self-will. And she, just what you said, she had to start with just making her bed so she can even just be of use to go and serve the family. So that is really what we do. And you can, well, before you go to page 77, let's go down a little further. Page 132, where we are, where it just says, so we think cheerfulness and laughter rather than being disturbed by everything. Line out. We think being cheerful and laughter make for usefulness rather than being disturbed by everything. Because, remember, our addict life, it says in the doctor's opinion, our addict life is our only normal one. So when people say, how are you? Our old normal response would be to lead in with, well, but, oh, well, but, yeah, but die. Right? Like, but, and it's like, we don't start off with, I am the son and daughter of the king of the universe and nothing can touch me. How are you? Because I think we'd be institutionalized right away, Justin, because that kind of attitude is frowned upon in, let's get honest, 2024. It's very radical speak to be optimistic in a very glum, dark world. But if we read even above what we were just talking about, it says we're not a glum lot. So we have to insist on enjoying life. Like and here it is, Justin, but why shouldn't Justin and I laugh right now? Because remember, the book says, and everybody with us, let's just think really quick, because Justin's going to read that, what our real purpose is, but let's just come deep. Our book says on page 59, may you find God now. So now in this moment, Justin and I are really still, wherever you are, you're driving, you're walking, you're listening in your bed before you go to sleep. What is missing in this very moment right now? You may be in your bed alone going, I need a husband. I need a wife. You may be going, but yesterday, Grammy died. No, we're here now, right here in this moment. And in this moment, between me and my creator, there is nothing missing. So why shouldn't I laugh? I have recovered from the seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. And I have been given the power to help others. So I'm not disturbed by anything when I stay and keep my thought life on this truth, Justin, on this truth.
That's such a powerful concept that I'm starting to really wrap my head around and really grasp, is that I'm missing nothing in this moment. If God truly is everything, or God truly is nothing, but I choose today that God is everything. Everything I need, I have right now. And if I don't have it, God doesn't see fit that I need it right now. I may get it at some point in the future, and at that point I will need it, but right now I don't need it. And one of the things that I've come into acceptance of is one day, the thing that I need is the ability to take my last breath in mortality. And that will be all I need. And that will be sufficient for what I need. And then I can move on to whatever the next existence may look like at that point. And I love that concept. Whatever I need is here now. And I can be content and satisfied with that. Now, I'm going to jump to 77 because I think this rolls in here. What is my real purpose? It reads on page 77, our real purpose is to fit ourselves to be of maximum service to God and to the people about us. And I think that's such a powerful concept when I combine it with this idea of acceptance of, whatever I have right now is sufficient for not just for me, but for what I can do to help the others, because that's what my purpose is to serve God and to serve the people about me. And God will provide sufficient for that to happen. And some days it's a lot, some days it's a little, but it's there. Any other thoughts on that, Nikki?
Well, the final thought that I have is exactly what you just said. Our real purpose is to fit ourselves to help others, including ourselves. Because then if we don't help ourselves, we can't help others. Our real purpose is not to be disturbed by everything. That's how we started this podcast, this episode. I'm disturbed by everything. Your purpose is not to be disturbed by anything. That's for your power to handle. Page 68. You are in the world to play the role God assigns. Today, what are you assigned to play? Because yesterday, a few months ago, Justin was in, I think it was Arizona, is serving there. That was what you were. And a few months ago and a few years ago, you were assigned to be a daddy. Now, today, you're assigned to be a grandpa. Like, this is today. Our role is constantly changing with what God puts in front of us. This is so radical. So remember, your real purpose is to serve, not to be disturbed. I'm Nikki M, and I'm a servant of God, and I just love you. Thank you, Justin.
And I'm Justin B, and I am a servant of God, and I just love you. Keep coming back, guys. This concept of acceptance, this concept of accepting the world as it is, not as I would have it, is a beautiful concept. And when I make my bed and get at it, I feel more and more like I'm worth it, that the work I do is worth doing. And the work you do is worth doing. Keep coming back, guys. You are worth it.